What's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts. I am your host, Rob.
And it's Zay Don't Play today. I'm trying out new names to see how they flow, and today is Zay Don't Play. But how you
Where,
feeling today, Brody?
where'd you get that name from?
You know, I, I remember one day you were saying something, you like, Zay Don't Play. Just trying it out today, see how it flows.
Look, I don't even know where I got it from. Like,
just out the blue.
Of course, as usual.
How you doing today, broski?
Oh, man. Honestly, so I don't always want to start with this, but I mean, to be very honest, this COVID thing, like I thought that it would have been over by now.
Yeah.
But so I am negative now, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
I am
First
negative.
Of all, let's round of applause for that day.
For sure.
We gotta clap that up today.
Jesus Christ.
Long time.
I took so many tests. Like, and mom was like, stop taking those tests. You're gonna always be positive. I'm like, Mom. So I took the test again, only because I was going in because of these headaches.
Yeah.
So if this is your first time tuning in, I had COVID before Christmas. And I'm going on 3 weeks of having it. And it's been it's been crazy. And so right now I'm in the phase where so I had COVID, strep throat, and a sinus infection.
I didn't even know you had.
Yeah, so I had all three, and now I'm just at the sinus infection stage where everything else is gone, but these headaches, so I've been trying to navigate that because I mean I thank God that it's not the headaches ain't where they used to be.
Yeah.
But this antibiotics is kicking my ass.
They got you good. That's like they got you good.
Man, bro, they got me on this antibiotics where I'm sweating. I don't like that shit. I already told y'all in the other episode, I'm swapping out shirts.
Yeah.
So, but I guess it's doing what it's supposed to do. People like Rob, just let it run its course. So, but being sick sucks. Like I haven't worked in 3 weeks, thank you God I'm in a position where I could sit down and actually allow myself to properly heal. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest thing that I'm learning. That one thing that I didn't know is with COVID, it's not just being sick, it's a mental thing also. You gotta allow yourself to heal in so many different areas. So I mean, one, I'm not playing no more. I tried to go out to get some fresh air, and I realized one, being outside kind of gave me a little anxiety. I got on gloves, I got on 2 masks, I got a hat real low. You know what I'm saying?
I told you we need to put you in a bubble.
A Ziploc bag. Put me in a Ziploc bag, for real. But my aunt was definitely telling me it's going to be layers of healing that you're going to have to go through. So I'm just trying to take that time. Unfortunately, New Year's is tomorrow. But I mean, it's bruh, I can't really do nothing. But I also think that I'm a firm believer in everything happens how it's supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe me conditioning myself to be by myself and having to sacrifice something that I think that I want, because I don't even know if I really want it to be out, but something that I think that I want is for a greater cause later on. So I believe in that. I believe in, paying attention to the signs. So that's just where I'm at.
You think it made you slow down a little bit? Because you're used to using because honestly, you're used to moving a mile a minute.
Yeah. And I mean, it for me, I work 7 days. So for me, I've been conditioned to being like that. And I'm gonna be honest, I think about it all the time. I think about working and making money. I enjoy, working. There's not a lot of people that I know that could be in a position where they're like they actually enjoy their job. I like the fact that I work on my own time, my own pace or whatever, and I actually enjoy what I do. Um, so to not be in that space, it's like, and it's forcing me to slow down. It's like I'm finding other areas that it's like, oh, okay, God, what? Like my favorite line is,
Mhm.
"What are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to show me?"
Big facts.
Because I look at the fact that I could have got COVID a long time ago. COVID been out for a long time. But the fact that right now, when I'm actually in a big transition, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
about to do something big with my life um, in a couple months. So it's like for me to be doing that, I know that this is preparing me for something.
Yeah.
I know that I firmly believe that and whatever. And that's what I'm going with. So yes, I do believe that God is trying to slow me down for another purpose that I don't know what it is yet. So yeah, for sure.
That's what's up. I'm honestly happy you feeling better because man,
Yeah.
it honestly it was hard on me. I know it was hard on you, but it's hard on me just like having to sit back and not be able to do nothing
Yeah. Yeah.
but to
Yeah.
just like listen to you and you not feeling like say, I don't know if I'm like, bro, it's fine. I'm sorry, I feel like that. I'm sorry, I'm coughing. Bro, you are sick. It's fine. I am good. I'm trying to make sure you feel better.
I was thinking
And
about the fact of when I would call you and you like you would try to give me like that good
yeah,
energy,
you know,
like what's good, Brody, or whatever. And
I'm
I'm
not
like, I say, I
can't.
just threw up, and you like, God, Jesus Christ,
I can't.
like,
Like a bad. I'm like bad timing. I guess. When you
look,
had your headache, I was like, "What's good, bro? What's going?
I'm like,
My
my head
headache.
hurt.
My headache. Oh, bad timing. Okay."
You're like, I'm gonna just whisper.
Oh, I was like, "How you doing? You okay?
Yeah,
You okay?"
like
But
every
I'm just,
day.
yeah, I'm happy you're like. I feel like I'm speaking it into existence. The worst of it is over. I'm
Yeah,
speaking into the worst of it is over,
yeah,
and that we just
amen.
got this final hump for you to get over. That's what I'm most happy about for
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, enough about me. how,
you.
how you been feeling?
Today was an okay day for me.
Okay.
This week was decent until the day before. I was talking to a mutual friend of ours, and they were like, "I want to commend you because you go from work, then you go home, and you're in straight daddy mode." And it went back to what when me and you talked about it, like, Zay, if I could give you an hour or two by yourself, I would. And thinking about that, I kind of broke down yesterday.
Okay.
Just a little bit like I really don't have time to myself, not even
Yeah.
to decompress. Cause as soon as I get off work, I'm picking up Grayson
Yeah.
and I'm coming home, and even being home is now I'm in daddy mode. And once I'm in daddy mode, I have to wait until he gets to sleep. And even when he sleep, I literally cleaning up everything, gotta hop in the shower,
Yeah.
do all this stuff. And by the time I do all that, I'm getting into bed to go to sleep to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And I will say it's very taxing on me mentally
Yeah.
more than anything, but it's like anything for him I'll do, but
Yeah.
it gets hard a lot of times. I'm not going to say like raising kids is easy as people may sound. It's hard. It really is. And I commend a lot everybody who has kids and who's raising kids because I honestly say there's a lot of times where I broke down and cried.
Yeah.
Not because of him being here. It's, I gotta stay strong for him. He doesn't know what's going on,
Yeah.
but a lot of me you said it's like he feels everything and he's hyper aware
Yeah.
of what going on. And I'm not sometimes it can just be too much at times.
Yeah.
So it's like I commend a lot every parent out there, especially the dad. I'm gonna say dads because honestly, there's a difference in my opinion between fathers and dads.
Yeah.
In my opinion, fathers is something you write down on the birth certificate. In
Yeah.
my opinion, a dad is someone who's actively in
Yeah.
their child's life.
Yeah.
So I want to commend all the dads out there who are actively in their children's lives and are doing something about it,
Yeah.
because it's not easy.
Yeah. And
I
I
was,
think also you're a young dad
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like that's a whole other layer because
Yeah,
I mean to be very honest, I do like when I remember like you said when we were having that conversation, I didn't it kind of just hit me like I think that particular day that we had that conversation, you sounded very tired.
yeah,
And when you I think we were talking as you were going to pick him up, and you were like, "Yeah, bro, you know, you were telling me about your day or whatever." And then when you got to him, your energy just shot up, and I'm like, "Whoa!" Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because me being in therapy, I'm like, I realize like I'm noticing shifts in
yeah,
people, and I'm like, damn, he just turned that shit on. Like, and I'm like, I'm curious if he's pulling or is that really how he feels? And I realized, you know, I think that night Grayson was not going to sleep right away. And I'm like, damn, you really don't have a pocket of time.
yeah. And I think
You
that's when you realize too, like when you came out here, you was like, Zay, I didn't know you worked this late. I knew you worked, but I didn't know you worked. Your hours were stupid long.
yeah.
And you were getting all played. I'm like, dang. And then you're like, you got to go pick up Grayson after this. And I think it's more of a pulling from the next day, the energy from the next day,
Mm,
and also putting the mask on at the same time. So it's in my opinion, for myself, it's a combination of both.
yeah.
Only because I get that energy from him every time I see him.
Yeah.
Every time I see him.
Yeah.
But it's also like I can't let him see me. He has to see me strong and energetic to, to be around him. And it's taxing sometimes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
really is. Like, sleep deprivation, bro, with a child
Yeah.
is real. It's very, very real.
Yeah.
And so it was like that, and it made me think about Reverend Doctor, my stepdad. I call him Reverend Doctor for people. But it made me think about him, and honestly, when him stepping up and being and marrying my mom and just being in my life,
Yeah.
because it wasn't not only me, but it was the girls as well. And
Yeah.
then it
Yeah.
became Malachi as well.
Yeah.
So we are all under one roof, and it's like there was no break for them. And it
Yeah.
makes me, realize what that was like for him coming
Mm.
home. This is before when he was a officer, before he went into preaching, but coming home and dealing with all of us and make sure we're all straight
Yeah.
and doing all this and not letting us see as children what's behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And I think that I've always had a respect for my dad as I got older, and me and him been able to have those conversations. But being on the other side of that curtain and knowing what's going on, with him mentally, seeing that and feeling that myself,
Yeah.
I have a whole new respect.
Oh, for sure.
I
It's like a parent's job is never done.
Yeah, and I listen, as kids, we never understood that expression.
No.
Never, but actually me being a parent and understanding that, it's like kudos.
Yeah, for
I don't know
sure.
how y'all did it with 5 of us in the house. And I
Yeah.
just got 1.
Yeah.
So that's has what's been on my heart as of lately.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
When I know that this is your routine, but have you actually asked yourself the question, like as far as execution, like when am I going to try to find time for me? Because I feel like the more that you keep going in this routine of, and not figuring out, okay, what do I need? You know what I'm saying? What's gonna make me happy? What's gonna give me what I need in the moment? Because I feel like keep going through that cycle. At some point, you're gonna burn out,
I honestly
or you're probably already burnt out, and
It's
you're
a
just
little
navigating
of
that.
that. I'll be honest, it's a little of that, but my schedule, permits me, like some days I have Monday off. Even on my off Saturdays, I have him all day.
Yeah.
So it's like when I have my Mondays, my off Mondays, I either, me, I either try to go to the gym or I'm
Yeah.
sleeping as much as I can, or I even stream when I can. But that's kind of, Sundays I have a little of that, but I feel as though I try to create that on Mondays for myself, but I
But-
have to understand that I have other resources out there.
Yeah.
I have family out. Well, I'll get into it another time, but found out I have family down here as well,
Yeah.
and they've been like, "Oh, if you want to, bring them over here, you can." But honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like you said, I'm in such a routine
Yeah.
that it's like it's
No,
not.
I'm good.
I'm good, or I'm kind of oblivious to the help. Not saying I don't want it, but I'm so deep into the routine of picking him up and
Yeah.
him being here, or us
Yeah.
doing something, maybe going to the park or going outside. I'm in such a routine that
Yeah.
is almost like I have blinders on
Yeah.
to the help. Not saying I don't want it, but and I feel as though if there's any parents in here, if you want to comment below, please let me know that you could be in such a routine that you forget about everything else.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's something I have to start working on, because one of my worst fears is him seeing me having a meltdown right in front of him. Like,
Why is that your worst fear?
because because a lot of times I want Grayson to see his daddy strong. I know there's going to be times when we have those conversations, but I feel as though right now at this age, I have to give him all the energy I can and all the love I can. And that has to do with a lot of my trauma, as we've talked about in the past.
Yeah.
But I feel as though that is what I have to give him, and what he deserves. So I have to figure out a way to, like you saying, find pockets
Yeah.
for myself.
Yeah. So when I hear that, and I'm not saying what I'm about to say is correct, true, it just what's in my head right now. For him not to see that other side, I think that at some point you're gonna have to reveal and be honest with not just him but yourself, because I feel like it's only gonna show him that it's okay to not be okay.
Absolutely. And it's so funny you say that, because I actually had that conversation with Pops.
Yeah.
It's so funny you say that. And I think once I became, like I said, I got older and me and Pop started to talk more. We had one of those conversations maybe a couple months ago. And he was like, Zay, I know it's hard. I know it's not easy. There have been times where I've broken down, I've cried, and me and your mother have talked about it. But there's those times I was just by myself.
Yeah.
And I had my meltdowns and all that stuff too. So me being able to open up, him having that conversation with me about it made me feel a little different. Not in like what I was feeling was bad, like it's okay. Like I've been through it.
Yeah.
And we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
But I think as a child, if he would have, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna kind of go back on what I'm saying in a way though, but it's as if he would have told me what he was going through,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to understand. I wouldn't have been able to relate when me being in high school or me being in college, I wouldn't have been able to relate what was going on. So I feel as though now that I'm older and I have Grayson, it's like I can have that conversation. You haven't got to this path in your life yet.
Yeah.
So it's like what I'm saying to you won't make no sense, even if we talked about it. Like we can have the conversation and you can say you understand and wow, But I remember we were listening to something, and they said until you're into the thick of it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
really won't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so that is why I say I have a found respect. And when when Grayson gets older, I'll have that conversation with him.
Yeah.
And it's so funny about that too, because it was so funny. I told him, like, I always tell him I love you before he goes to bed. I was like, I love you. He's like, I know.
Yeah.
And it didn't click in my head till he said that, till after he went to sleep. It was like, you understand, but you just know that I'm loved. You know what I'm saying? He's aware of, daddy loves me and daddy's taking care of me, even though he doesn't comprehend everything that's going on.
Yeah. But see, you're saying Grayson knows.
Yeah.
Okay. So in my head, I believe that someone said to me a long time ago, the worst thing that a parent can do is strip you from their experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So telling you what their experiences is and what they went through, like you said, you get it now what it's like to be a parent. So that by you knowing, you may know where to pull from at this moment. And I personally think that granted, I understand what you're saying, like Grayson may not understand now, but I also feel like you have to tell him. You have to tell him, and I feel like parents have to tell their kids. Just because when we walk into situations or whatever, even if it's the wrong thing, we have something to reference. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll learn on the way, like, dang, okay, maybe that works for them, but it just don't work for me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it is important. Like, maybe you wouldn't have understood when he first said it, but I think that at some point it's the lesson of going through it yourself. You know what I'm saying? And be like, dang, well, dad said that he did this, so let me try it because it just may work. You know what I'm saying? So I personally think that, exposing us to their trauma, their story, with whatever that is or whatever that looks like, I think that's important. But I would just, before I go past that, I do want to say, I was thinking about when you were saying, like, being in routine.
Yeah.
Just me personally, by me working how I work, now that I sit down, I honestly don't know what I need. I don't know what, like, when I'm at home, I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to clean up again? Like I don't know, honestly, what makes me happy. And that's why I feel like part of this lesson, like, I'm learning new things. And it's so crazy, like the stuff that's coming out. I was like, damn, I didn't think I would like that, but I guess. And now I could pull from that if I'm ever in this situation again. But I was thinking, like, do you know what you need? Like, because you are in routine, do you think that you know what you need to fuel yourself?
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you, act like I have a clue, because sometimes I don't. Sometimes it could just be I just need some rest.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be let me play the game for a little bit.
Yeah.
Or watch TV for a little bit. Like, honestly, I don't know until I'm in it, because my mind isn't there of, okay, now that I got free time, what can I do?
Yeah.
Or he sleeps, so what can I do? Oh, you always clean up everything, so
and that's a routine.
And that's part of that's part of the routine. But I won't think of, what am I going to do when I get off? Oh, I got to go get Grayson up. I got to go home. And the first thing is, what are we going to eat tonight? Let me think about that. It's not of, what can I do for myself today?
Yeah.
What am I going to do for? And like you said, it's just being so stuck in that routine that I don't know. And that's an honest answer.
And even when he's not there, it's still a routine.
Yeah, and that's that's why I say it has such a hold.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of finding trying to find out who I am. And it's gonna sound kind of bad to what I say, who I am without Grayson. And that's not saying that I don't love him or don't like him around, but who am I when he's not around?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think
Do you think you're more in that mindset of I gotta be this person to the fact of I don't know how to be myself. So I have to be like, I just gotta be this type of dad. And what this look like is this versus being like, what does Isaiah want to do? Like what type of because when you said trauma, it made me think about you living out of that
Yeah.
versus living out of Isaiah.
What I'll say is I think it's a lot of that.
Okay.
And I try sometimes to be Zaya, you know, what type of parent Zaya wants to be. But it always goes back to I gotta be better than
my experiences.
Yeah. And that's when I say it's the trauma of how I grew up. It's like I gotta be better than what was done to me, than my experiences. He gonna get all the love, he gonna get this, he gonna get that. All the stuff I never got, I'm gonna give him. And that's what type of dad I'm gonna be. Not the Zay, you need to be the type of dad Zay is, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think that dad is what Grayson like. And I think that's the kind of dad Pops was. I'm gonna be the best Pops I can be. Yeah. And I think that I'm still trying to find that, but it's sifting through all the issues that I've had, you know, like you were saying earlier, the experiences, and trying to find Zaya in all of that.
That's hard.
It is.
Because I mean, for me also, I just even thinking about just how Grayson changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, for a long time, I was like, I'll probably never have kids.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I'll never have kids, mainly because of my trauma. I was living out of my trauma for years. I mean, I'm like, I know I'll probably be a good father, but the way that I respond to things, like the way that my matriarchs, I'll say that, how they respond to me, how I responded to the way that they parent me.
Yeah.
I would say that I was like, oh no, like my attitude is terrible. My approach is terrible. My mindset is terrible. I would not want to expose myself to a relationship or expose myself to my child because this is all I knew. Right. And then when you gifted me Grayson, I didn't know what I was going to get, but he showed me you are enough. And to this day, it does not make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I was so convinced for years, like my attitude, I'm just a terrible person. Like I'm not going to have kids. Right. And then to see how I navigate him, how I comfort him, how I make him laugh. I'm like, I would be a good dad. Like, goddamn. Like, and he exposed so much. And even me believing in the word love. I'm like, wow. He exposed, like, I didn't believe in that word. I didn't believe in like having children because most people, I didn't really see healthy relationships or healthy relationship with parent to child. So I'm like, this don't exist. This ain't a thing. You know what I'm saying? People just have kids, you know, they're a result of this and that. And when I was exposed to just my own relationship with him, I was like, whoa, like this is something different. And I feel like, I don't know, like it just boosted. I'm like, I want kids. I want kids so that I can have this experience again. I can love. Like, so the power of kids, and even though I'm not a parent, my mind believes that I can actually do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's crazy. To this day, I'm still like, what the hell?
I'll agree, because every time I hear like, what do I want to get my son? What does he need? I miss him so much.
Like I literally, like, those are real feelings. Like,
I know for a fact.
Gee, I'd be like, I'll see something and I'd be like, gee, the Grayson, like, like it's weird. But I think that's the power of kids. And But I'm also the type of person that's like, ooh, Zaya, I'm glad I'm just the uncle. Cause 24 hours, like
Yeah.
that's a lot.
So you can give them back.
Look, I can give them back.
I
Like
can't
that's the
give them
beauty
back.
of it. But I also realize there are a lot of times where I'd be like, dang, I wish Grayson was here 24 hours. Like, so it's crazy. It's crazy. But I do commend you because I commend all parents. Like we get like that's the reason why I'm like entrepreneurship is for me because you given a job so many hours and then having to be a parent after that.
Yeah.
Gee, I commend parents tremendously. Like I'm not saying that I couldn't do it because I think that it's worth it, but man, that's why I'm like I like to stop and go when I want to.
Yeah. You say that every day. You know,
I
I
don't want to
can.
report to nobody. Like
Yeah.
the thought of when I move, the thought of like me possibly considering a job because I'm in a new space,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, like then nah. Like I talk myself out of it. Like, you in a new place. This would be a nice opportunity for you to, get to meet people, be around. I'm like, nah, bruh. Nah, because when I was out there and I'm like, dang, you still ain't off work? And you like, nah, not yet.
I'm still here.
And then having to put on that parent mask,
Dude, that's why, man.
sacrifice. That's a
That's
real
why, like I
sacrifice.
said, because I commit on, like me, just knowing how I was growing up, mom and pops being so patient with me, and pops finding the energy to do X, Y, and Z with me and Malachi, and even mom finding the energy to do stuff with all this. It's different.
And it was
It
5 of y'all.
That's why
Ooh.
I said it was 5 of us and a dog. So that's why I'm just like, man, just seeing it in a different light. Like, dude, he's the one who taught me about if someone offers you an opportunity to better yourself, take it. I
Yeah.
remember I told you about Pops telling me he was a kid and his mentor was going to had an opportunity to take him to the stock exchange.
Yeah.
And he said, I didn't really think of it. I wanted to go hang out with my friends on that day. So I went and hung out with my friends.
Yeah.
And, him not knowing he was going there, his mentor was like, yeah, I was going to take you to the stock exchange to see, how stocks work and all that. And he's like, oh, we can go now. We go. No, it's like, no, it's not like you missed out your chance. And
Yeah.
that was a lesson within itself. I'll say this. My favorite experience with my dad
Mm.
was him teaching me to play chess. Because it
Mm.
wasn't just him teaching me to play chess, it was teaching me about life,
Yeah.
about thinking a couple moves ahead,
Yeah.
or how to maneuver if things change or if plans change.
Yeah.
I could never beat him for the longest. But when
Yeah.
I finally beat him, it was like, nigga, I done won the Super Bowl.
All right.
Like you couldn't tell me nothing. And to see the look of pride on his face
Yeah.
for me to win,
Yeah.
it's not matched. That's why I say I commend a lot of parents because it's not easy, but the lessons and the things they instill in us
Yeah.
are priceless. Are
I think
like truly priceless.
I think it's a beautiful thing when, and as much as I, respectfully, because if Pops ever hear this, I think he's going to understand where I'm coming from. A child that's not yours,
Absolutely.
and you step in and fill in a space. Like I feel like it's funny to hear you talk about um that because as far as a father figure, I didn't have that until I was way older. I guess I would
Yeah.
say, like in college, like about to go to college type of thing with my spiritual father. Like I feel like I didn't have a father figure till after that. And then also rejecting it because he wasn't and like he's not mine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And knowing other male figures and rejecting it because I'm like, man, my father wasn't around
Yeah.
ever. So it's like and I still struggle with that. I still struggle with that a lot, but I think it's dope for you to receive and for him to want to actually have the urge to give that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It says a lot about, him, and it says a lot about what you may have needed or wanted, and just being open to that, because I rejected it so much.
Oh, I did the same thing. And you was when I told you that, you were like, "What?" I was like, "We didn't get along a lot, and it was a lot had a lot to do with me
Yeah.
and on the inside
Yeah.
of wanting my mother and my father to be together, but being open to the idea of dad.
Yeah.
But as I got older and as I saw a lot more, and I remember me and you had this conversation, and I was like, they didn't need to be together. If I knew what I knew now back then, I would have been like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am grateful for that experience, because when I first moved, mom wanted me to stay. You know that. Mom did not want me to leave at all. But dad was like, here's some bad things about moving and being on your own in a new state at that
Yeah.
too. Remind you, I lived in Evanston. That's maybe like 20 minutes from Chicago, literally on the border of Chicago, all the way down to Florida. So that's not like some drive for an hour or two and we can get he was like, he gave me all the negatives, but he also gave me the positives.
Yeah.
And I think that at that point, something kind of changed in me right then and there.
Yeah.
Because we had our ups and downs, but around that time, that kind of changed for me. Like, he gave me a reason to go and not 150 reasons to stay.
Yeah.
And why it's a bad idea. When I moved and I was piling up all these experiences, good and bad, I felt he was the person I ran to talk to.
That's the part that I was waiting for.
And he kept my secrets.
Man, that's dope.
That was the biggest thing. Like, I was going through a lot when I moved to Florida my first couple of years.
Yeah.
And me and him talked all the time. He was very open and he didn't judge. He just listened. And you okay? Do you need anything? And sometimes I didn't even need anything. It was just hearing him say that.
Yeah.
Like, I got your back. Like, I got you. Whatever you need, you can tell me. Like, yeah. This is stay between me and you. Mom doesn't have to know. This is me and my son talking.
Yeah.
And that was so reassuring hearing that. And we talk every Sunday, every Sunday we check up. How am I doing? My mental state. I am so grateful and I think I needed to move. I think if I would have never moved, we wouldn't have developed this relationship that we have. And I felt that kind of pushed our relationship to the next level, to where I can talk to him about anything.
Yeah.
100%. I'm open with him. He's open, and he's open with me 100%.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad or good, he always gives me his take on it in a reverend way a lot of the time. But a lot of times I'll ask him, like, Dad, I just need you to be my dad right now. And,
yeah.
And talk to me, because a lot of times he's in pastor mode a lot. And you know that too. He's in pastor mode a lot. And sometimes, like, Dad, I just need you to be my dad, and, give me some advice. And, okay, Zay, let's talk. And then we have our conversations. But like I said, I'm grateful that I moved, because if I hadn't, me and him wouldn't develop the relationship I have. And it wouldn't have helped. It honestly helped me be a better dad to Grayson in so many ways.
Yeah.
By those experiences I've, me and him have had, it's like I can kind of, like you were saying earlier, use those, pull from those,
Yeah.
to be a better parent.
It's interesting because I think that was part of the reason why I was like, I'll never have kids, because I've always had a front row seat of watching people have a father-son relationship, and the lessons that I'll do, and me having to not have that experience and having to eavesdrop and try to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I 1000%.
I'm like, damn, like, is this the way that I'm gonna learn this? You know what I'm saying? And it got frustrating for me, you know what I'm saying, not having that. So I mean, I think that it's funny when you said Daz and Pastor Mo. Gee, my dad, like, my dad is so dope, but he'll go into it. I'd be like, damn, like, and you can't really say nothing. It's like, yeah,
because it's him. It's him.
yeah. Right.
You've
I
experienced
accept my
it. It's
dad
him. It's like,
who he is, and it'd be
yeah.
like, I haven't found the courage to be like, Dad, okay, yep, I hear you. Dad, one, can you translate that? Two, can you just be my dad right now? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because I'm still in that mindset, like, you know what, just be thankful. Just be thankful that, you know what I'm saying? But I do be one to say it, but
Yeah.
I hate that I do this. In my head, I can't separate the fact that it's like he's not mine. It's like, Rob, but he's making a choice. He's making a choice to show up.
Go into that a little bit more for me, please.
Like, my dad don't have to call me. He don't have to check up on me. When I call, he don't have to answer. He got children that he was born to. But I feel like he's my spiritual father. He still check up on me as if he don't treat me as if I'm any different. He don't talk to me like, when he tells me, like, yeah, I called such and such, I called my daughter, I called or whatever, and I'm calling you to, it's like, I feel like we're all equal. It's just that trauma in my head that's like, but I'm not yours. You know what I'm saying? I'm the substitute. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it sucks, man. It really sucks because I feel like I'm not able to fully
accept it
and fully be myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm so trying to filter through stuff. You know what I'm saying? And me and my spiritual father, we've been connected since I believe since I was 16. And I'm 33 now. So it's like, you know, I would wish that by this time, you know, but it is a work in progress. Like, we are super close still or whatever. It's just those moments that I got to find my way to just receive, you know what I'm saying? And it's a struggle. It's actually, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love the fact that you had the experiences that you had with Dad. I love the fact that, you know, he stepped in.
It was hard.
But I really, people don't understand. Like, for me, I'll smile, but I envy, like, because I've always yearned for, you know, like, I want to sit with my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hear people talk about it all the time. Like, oh, that's dope. Or for Father's Day, when people be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take my dad to the such and such. I'd be like, or even the fact that you got somebody to call, and even though I got my spiritual father, I still be like, it still be like,
and I'll let you in on something. Growing up, me and my biological father, you didn't really get along, and it was a lot of the reason why sometimes you may call me emotionless. It was kind of a switch I developed. I used to have to lie, bro, when I was a little younger, being around a lot of my friends when they were talking about their dad's doing this, their dad's doing that. I used to have to lie.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, me and my dad did this. And it was so much fun because seeing what he was doing made me wonder about, okay, when are you gonna leave my mom? Like, all bullshit aside, when you gonna get in one argument, something's gonna happen, because I've seen it. you know,
Yeah.
I firsthand experienced this.
Yeah.
And it's like, when are you gonna leave? So something's gonna happen, you're gonna get to one and you're gonna leave. And it's just gonna be me and mom. And you know, just okay, he's still here, you know, okay, he's still
Yeah.
here. You know, family road trips, okay, he's still here. Doing this and this, okay, he's still here. But something's gonna happen and he's gonna, you know, just kind of waiting for the other shoe
Other
to
side of it.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of what I'm experiencing on this side, it wouldn't
Yeah.
let me accept what was on this side. It wasn't until I became an adult where I was like, Zay, you were hurt. Like, you were truly hurt. And this man was trying to give you all this love that what you were going over here, but you was trying to get the love that was over here, knowing that you
Yeah.
weren't going to get it.
Yeah.
And it took you until you were pretty much, I'm going to say 31, because I'm 31 right now. Until 31, you're like, this dude really loved me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though he wasn't my biological father, and I will be the first one to say I'm not perfect. I've even said that you're not my father, and he still stayed.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. He still stayed.
Yeah.
And it made me realize, like, this dude, this man genuinely loves you as his son. And there he treats you no different, like you said earlier, no different than the girls or Malachi. To him, you are his blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it took me, I'm going to say this again, till 31.
Yeah.
Even though it was a couple years ago, to fully accepted 31, like, this is your dad.
Yeah.
You know?
And what does blood mean? Like, what does that really mean?
And we've said this all the time. Nothing.
It really means nothing.
It doesn't.
He put in effort. Dad put in effort. He put in consideration. Like, I think that's fire. And it also, it showed the relationship with him and your mother.
Yeah.
Like, if I accept you, I gotta accept everything.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? And I gotta accept the fact that Isaiah may not accept me, but I'm gonna keep doing my part. I'm gonna keep showing up.
And that's the key word, bro. That is the key word. They showed up.
That's fire.
Whether it's just I'm speaking from a father and a dad's point of view, but even if there's the mothers out there, you know, that have, you know, are trying to raise another man's daughter or your daughter, I'm just going to say your daughter.
Yeah.
Showing up is the key to everything.
To being a parent, just show up. In
general, because they can hate you.
Yeah.
They can say everything nasty to you in the book. But one thing they will never say is you weren't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the one thing. Like, bro, even before I could badmouth him, you know, till I was blue in the face. But one thing I could never say is he wasn't there. He was always there.
And to be in a place where it's like, it's not personal. It's not personal. Yeah. Like what you were saying, you know, for him to, and not saying that it may not have hurt his feelings, but it's like, it's not personal between me and Isaiah. Like Isaiah got a whole other situation that he has to deal with, that he has to go through. And it's like, but I'm gonna still do my part. That's fire.
It was just hurt, bro.
Yeah.
It was just hurt.
And it didn't have nothing to do with him.
Nothing at all.
You didn't do nothing wrong.
I was hurt.
Other motherfucker.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Hurting.
Jesus Christ.
And I think, and honestly, bro, I can say today, I can honestly say I really was hurting because I could say before that, you know,
and still is.
Of course. I'm
You've
still
grown through it, but it's still like I'm still navigating.
Yeah, but to say I was a hurt kid.
Yeah.
A hurt, traumatized kid, and a man to still be there and love me through all that hurt and understand that he got to work it out. But when he gets there, I'll still be here.
That's fire.
Definitely is.
That's fire. Shout out to Dad.
Facts.
Doctor,
Reverend Doctor.
Reverend the God. Jesus. That's dope. Wow.
Yeah.
before we end, I will say that this has taught me a lot. I didn't know what direction we was gonna go,
I did. I just had to get some stuff off my chest, and
man,
here we are.
Right. I feel like this has opened the door for something else that I want to talk about, but we'll talk about that on another episode. We're gonna do a part 2, part 3 type of thing. But once again, you guys, please feel free to share these episodes. If you haven't seen our other episodes, go back, listen to them or whatever.
On YouTube, please comment. Please comment, like, subscribe. Yeah. You can follow us on Instagram as well.
What is it? The Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts pod on Instagram,
on YouTube, YouTube
and Instagram,
and the Drunk Mind Sober Thoughts podcast 100. On Instagram.
Y'all see who's setting this stuff up. I'm just showing up, okay. But also, in 2023, we definitely got some new stuff going on. I know that we're doing audio right now, but we want to build, right? And we're hoping that you guys build with us. So in 2023, we're going to be dropping some new stuff. So feel free to keep following us or whatever. Like he said, subscribe or whatever. And until next time, we are out.
Peace. Slide. All my niggas gon' slide, ayy. Slide.